Hello, happy Friday, everybody! Woo! Yeah. We have a very lively crew out here for sure. I know. Yeah. I like the audience. I feel like going to call somebody up on stage like Bob Barker used to do.
Oh, you should.
Come on down.
We were talking about that, but prior to the show, Scott was playing very sort of like old school, like Austin Powers-y, almost like game show music today. So, there you go.
That's
but
gentle.
it's gentle for our hangover. Say all three of us have discussed this as we've come in.
Yeah.
The struggle bus is real this Friday.
That's right.
But we can't get you a cocktail to keep it rolling, or maybe you're still drunk.
I don't know about a cocktail. I mean, yes,
we've got half an hour. You can decide.
What are our mixer options? That's really
so. Andy, our mixer out there,
yes,
/ man of many talents. He likes to make cocktails.
Got it.
But usually it's just straight alcohol on the rocks. So it's whatever you like to drink. I'm drinking the Captain over ice.
And this is Absolute over ice.
Fireball, gin. There's red wine.
Fireball got me in big trouble last night.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm good for now.
You think you're good for now? Tell me about the Fireball and what happened last night, or if you remember.
So after the show, we went to a restaurant, Hex, inside the Paris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely,
Very
lovely.
nice.
And when you're in a show there, they kind of take great care of you on the Paris property. So the wine kept coming, and I kept on looking at my glass thinking, wait, I kept saying, is this mine? Because there was like 8 of us. So I thought that I was drinking someone else's glass because it kept on refilling itself.
They just kept
bottomless wine.
But I didn't see when. So I was outside. So by the time I left Hex, I'd already had like 3-4 glasses of wine.
Red.
Yeah. White, actually.
White.
Yeah, white. Because, it was refreshing. It was outside. And then we went to Quads, played some pool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the Quads?
Used to be Buffalo.
Yeah.
Where was that? Oh, yeah.
Across from Piranha.
Oh, okay. In the Tri-Bar area. Yeah.
That's right. Then I thought, well, certainly it's not appropriate to have white wine at the gay sports bar. So I switched over to a sensible Bacardi diet. With 2 limes. And then, how about that jump?
0 calories, right?
And then I didn't really feel buzzed yet. So I was like, let me order everyone a round of shots.
Oh,
so then
Jesus.
Fireball.
So the Fireball came.
Right. And then we were like, well, and then I wasn't, everyone else was like a drink behind. And anyway, so another round happened there. Then we go to Piranha, and then someone's like, oh, it's my turn. What do you want? I was like, no, I think I'm good. Like, you're getting one. You know how that goes.
Yeah. You never can. I do the toss back, like, whoops, or hand it over to somebody else.
I like the toss back.
I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that almost moment this morning in the shower, like that gagging of like, oh, I think I had too much of the sweet ones last night.
Got it.
Cocktails.
Wow.
That moment when you're just like, I don't know if it's phlegm or it's like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. I don't know if I'm still wasted.
I don't know that feeling at all.
You don't know that feeling at all? Never.
Not at all. It's never happened to me, ever.
So, as we talk about Hex,
yes,
your show is called Sex and Hex.
Sex tips. See what you did there?
Well, they have. You know what? They could probably do enough promotion around that. That's sex
true.
tips and Hex
gosh.
tips. So, of course, this is your show that you're currently in now.
That's right.
Sex tips for straight women from gay men.
Yeah, from a gay man. Just one.
Just one. Just one man.
Yeah.
Just one, and it's Jay. Just
And
one.
it's Jay.
Normally, at the top of the show, we kind of talk about what we did over the week or weekend.
I see.
Kind of, letting you guys fill in. And we want to talk about what Brandon did. Brandon is now host and co-host of the show with me here. Oh, your knees just keep going.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We're getting sex tips.
Got it.
Last night we had, my husband out in the audience, Jay, he's also a Jay, Jason. He is a fashion stylist.
Is he?
He is. So
Nice.
we went to the Vegas Magazine 14th anniversary party at the Red Rock Hotel.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Look at those
It was
guys.
hot as hell at the pool for sure. You can see the sweat beads go. Actually, I don't see my forehead wrinkles. You must have done some sort of. Thank you. I look
Little
lovely.
face tunage.
But if you can see behind, and if you scroll some of the pictures, Scott, there's a picture of Tyson Beckford, who is actually who he styled for the spread. So,
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so it was nice. You got a chance to talk to Tyson.
I love Tyson. He did an episode of Queer Eye with us, and
cool.
he couldn't have been nicer. Yeah, years ago.
Nice. So every time you say the word Queer Eye, something happens in the show. So they took a Vegas Magazine cover and put it in the pool, like they did, like this really cool spread in the pool. But yeah, he did a fantastic job. It was quite awesome.
Nice
to see that. And the magazine's been around for 14 years. They've been putting on these parties for 14 years.
Wow.
They're really fun. They're crazy. And they always seem to do them in the summertime when it's 1,000 degrees outside.
Well, of course, because you get
Drinking
the
outside.
fancy spread in the pool.
Everybody wanted to spread in the pool. That's what we wanted to do. Oh, that was great.
Oh, Tyson.
Oh, that was nice. And then we just came back from Chicago too. We were in Chicago for a wedding last weekend. And I have to tell you, this is how sweet my husband is, because since we've been together. We went to New York, Chicago, one other city. Where were we at? And then we're going to Paris.
Ooh.
In like 2 days, 3 days. And this is how Marvel movie superhero he is. We're in Chicago, and he looks at the buildings. He's like, "Oh, that's that building from Transformers, or that's that building from Batman versus Superman." I'm like, "Well, it's also a building of history, but yes, it is from that movie." And we're in New York, same thing. He's like, "Oh, that's the building that was in this scene, or in this happened." Or we're watching I made him watch Rick Steves Europe. You know, the nerdy guy who gives you all the travel tips. So he's going past the Louvre, and he's like, "Oh, that's where Wonder Woman keeps all of her stuff." And blah, blah, blah.
My God!
I swear to God, I'm like, well, it's also a building that was a palace at one time, and
that's
is now
his history, though.
But I love it. It's so funny. It's like this building's gonna be based on this, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
you're right. I totally,
it.
yeah. He's so cute like that. I'm like, we're gonna go see these awesome places in a Snapchat. Like, this is where Wonder Woman is, and I'm like, this is where King so and so did. I don't even know my fucking history. So
this is where Wonder Woman flew past the green lady holding the torch.
Right, it's the best. It's so sweet. Like he was saying when we were in Chicago, because we stayed at the Virgin Hotel. They have a hotel in Chicago. It's awesome. So we have this rooftop deck, which is very much like Vegas. It feels like you're at like Marquee or something, but you're on the top deck of the building, and all you see is these really cool buildings. And the building next to us was in what movie? Was it Transformers? It has these awesome old spires and things.
He's like, getting shy. He's pretending like he doesn't know.
He's blushing.
Yeah,
he is. It's okay.
Oh, look, he is.
He is. It's okay. It's a sunburn. Yeah, that must be the sunburn. But it's
from the nighttime pool party.
It's from the nighttime pool parties. And you, my friend, last night you were at Pop Strings filling in with Lily and you have Dave Perico.
Well,
right?
I got to go see this one in his show last night, and so I pulled double duty. I went to yes, that's the there I am.
There you are.
We play with have you guys ever seen Pop Strings Orchestra
I haven't,
before?
no.
It's amazing. It's on Cleopatra's Barge at Caesar's Palace.
Oh, I love that place.
And there are, I think, about 8 or 9 hot girls playing strings.
Yeah.
That's the name, Pop Strings. Yeah. And there's a whole horn section and rhythm section, and it's a guy and a girl singer. And we're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights from 10 to 12.
Wow.
It's so much
Lily's
fun.
awesome. Lily is actually the main singer for it, right? With you. We saw Dave at the Smith Center when he did it with who's the Naomi Morrow.
Yeah.
I'm just never sober enough to sing here. Like my voice.
Clearly, if you're at Piranha
here.
having shots and passed around.
And again, see they're
that's a very fierce group there. For
I know.
Sure. Look at that face.
Yeah,
she's gonna murder somebody right there.
Who knew Mila Kunis was a performer?
I know.
Right.
It does.
Heather Morris from Glee. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Nicole Scherzinger. Oh my God, we have all the girls.
See,
who's that?
I think she was on Alias, only one season.
I know, just like putting it out there. Like,
no, but seriously, I have to say, the one that you just said, who's that? She plays for Rod Stewart.
Okay.
When he's, anytime he does any dates. And the girl at the top, she's from Celine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's Celine's violinist. They're all from, the bald guy right there, Stephen Lee, he's Donnie and Marie's musical director and guitar player. So everybody
comes from their show. And,
that's why we have a 10 o'clock showtime, so we can all do like our shows and literally
and just jam out.
Run over there. So you've got musicians from all over town just like running and sweating and like setting up and
that's such a great venue because the whole entire casino just kind of clobbers around like what's going on there kind of mentality.
But I have to say also this week, besides seeing your show, I saw Queen with Adam Lambert, and you responded on my thing.
And how
it was
that?
So great. It was so great. Did you get to see it?
I did. I emailed him right away. I was like, oh my God, are you in town? And he had just gotten over the flu, and he's like, I can't go out. I have to be good to get to these shows.
He killed it, though. And then I think the next night they were at the Hollywood Bowl for a couple of days.
2 nights, I think.
For 2 nights, yeah.
How was that for you?
It was so good. I mean, reliving all that music, being in the show.
Imagine 2 nights of the Hollywood Bowl. Like, that was at 18,000 people. Yeah. And you sell it out for 2 nights. That's like insane.
The production was... The show was amazing, and they had a couple of times where Adam was singing, and they had split screen with Freddie.
Oh wow!
It was so
right
I know, right?
Oh, wow.
It is goosebumpy.
Wow.
It was really cool, and at the end, for the finale, like the last bow, Adam came out with like the crown on his head and stuff. It was just really, really great. There couldn't have been a better replacement. I hate to say replacement because you can never replace Freddie,
right?
But he was the perfect,
to pass the torch
he is the perfect person to take over. He's got the style. He's got the voice, the energy. So
he has
it's great.
Like sodomy quality about himself. Yeah.
Yes.
But he can be out. Got it.
Yes.
Cool.
Something like that.
That's yes.
Is this the first time you saw?
And this is me before coffee. So
no, you're pretty. You must still be drunk.
I think I'm a little
drunk.
drunk.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Refills.
Yeah. What was the first time seeing the show, seeing Brian May and Roger Taylor in there doing that after he did We'll Rock You?
Since we worked together, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean,
so you were busy.
Coming from Trap Doors and playing their solos, and it was great. Yeah.
Nice.
I was reimagining myself in like a half-top white spandex with like...
He did wear that. Did you ever see We'll Rock You?
I did. He was so good in it.
Yeah.
We had quite a cast, and everybody.
I think I was there opening night. Yeah, I think it was
here at the Paris.
It was
and look, now you're
show.
at the Paris.
I know.
Yes.
What the hell?
So crazy.
You're in the Anthony Cool showroom there.
Yeah, we're in the or
whatever he's called, whatever it's called there. That's quite a billboard, though. I have to say,
you have arrived. 8 of them.
You have arrived in Vegas. Have you ever been on a billboard in Vegas before that you know?
Yes, but only in a group setting, like the cast photo where you don't get your name on it.
Gotcha.
For that show.
For that. Q.
So this is not the first time you've been in Vegas. Like
no,
you hosted Broadway Bears a few years ago.
I did, and then I've come, for leisure. I've hosted like a New Year's Eve party at different clubs. I've done, I think I hosted a pool party years ago, and then we shot Queer Eye here.
Oh, there you go. He's a Republican. It takes him a long time to press play.
It's fine.
It's okay.
I set him up for.
I'm not even going to say. Well, I'll cover that. I'm not even going to say it. No, it's okay. Don't give him any credits. It's okay. And they can't hear him anyway. We can. So it's only the one in your head. But yeah, so before the show was starting, the three of us were like, I know there's a really good theme song from that show. We're trying to remember all, because theme songs kind of come and go.
Absolutely.
And you're like, there is a theme song for Queer Eye. There is. And it's like, as soon as it came on, we were all like goosebumps going, now I remember watching.
All of us started like dancing in the studio. We were like,
The funny thing about that is Capitol Records thought that was going to be like a hit. So they had Wayne Isham, who at the time was directing like In Sync, and Britney was like doing all these massive videos. He directed the Queer Eye theme song music video, which you can watch online. It was like $1 million video, and we shot for, I think it was 27 hours, shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. First production that New York let shut down the Brooklyn Bridge.
Wow.
From like 3 a.m. till I think 6:30 a.m. We shot on the bridge. So there's a lot of aerial shots and everything, and shot all over Manhattan. And yeah, that's crazy.
That's
that
awesome.
During that time, we kind of, I mean, I was looking back at pictures people were tagging me in. It's like, you just at a cocktail party with like Hillary Clinton. Yeah. And next week, Donald Trump is calling saying he wants to be on the show. And
well, I don't.
We had him on the show.
He never clearly got a haircut. But.
No, he wouldn't let us touch his hair, and he made a big thing about that. Look at him, 12 years old.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, but we made over a former apprentice.
Okay.
Kid.
Yes. Yeah.
She looks the same.
She looks exactly the same. It's funny that you said that, though, because so when Jay and I were in Chicago, for the wedding, it also happened to be Gay Pride. It was a Gay Pride parade. And there was a moment where standing, because the reception, these people had a lot of money. The reception was at Navy Pier. But we were standing there at one point, sitting just outside of Navy Pier. And you look out over the city, and the Sears Tower, I'm going to choke up. Sears Tower had lights on the top in the rainbow.
Yeah.
You look out, the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier had the rainbow in the middle of it. I mean, you're like, this is how we've graduated from, and a lot of it when you're saying like, there's the first time that Brooklyn Bridge had done something, like everything is monumental and leads up to like the moment where you're like, those kind of things.
And we came off the heels of, at that time, it was Ellen, Queer as Folk, L Word, Boy Meets Boy, a lot of shows, Will and Grace, all with LGBT themes or focused on that. In fact, Vanity Fair did a 3-page spread and the cover with all of our cast mishmash.
Yeah.
And cool. And it was like the height of gay television. But I will say that because of this sort of like subversive, like our show literally was just a makeover show that happened to have a gay cast. But because it did so well for conservative folks who maybe didn't have a bunch of gay friends around, suddenly inviting them into their home or their bedroom, their living room, it's a very intimate thing every Tuesday night. Suddenly it did advance gay culture to a certain degree where it made it like, I know so-and-so, I put a face with a name,
Yeah.
So so it's good.
One of your most powerful ones I remember, and I had Scott pull this up. You guys were on the Oprah show.
That's right.
Talking about it, and there was a gentleman in the audience.
Oh yeah, he cried.
Always warms my heart when I see this because it's on her best of
video. That's right.
Where this gentleman, the girls, his daughters had not seen him clean shaven in 20 years, and if you can scroll to the after what you guys did.
Oh my
Not even the same guy.
It's Alan Thicke, guys.
It is.
No, the funny thing is he cried because he said he felt like himself again. Like he felt like that was a layer that had been removed. And Oprah put it on her DVD. She said, I don't like makeovers. I think people do not, but there's sometimes where you need to change the external to affect change in the internal, whatever she said. And that was one of her favorite makeover episodes ever. So so
you transcended that. That's
which is funny because I think my segment was swing dancing. Like I taught this guy how to dance. His wife was a really avid swing dancer, but she couldn't get him to go. So surprise! I did a couple of classes with him. Mind you, I had to learn on the spot too because I didn't know. But when I let them do it on camera, like okay, here's your big moment. He messed it up hard. I didn't even know. Can we curse on this program?
Of course you can.
Oh yeah,
all internet.
I'm like sensing.
Fuck this. Fuck that.
Perfect. Yeah. So then he could not dance with her. So I was like, oh my god, he was so much better at home. Watch. And then I did the number with him, and he was fine. It was funny.
There you go. Much more comfortable with you.
He was.
But that's cool because again, that's what you did. You made it comfortable for people to relate.
Yeah, and I think we found a lot that we had a lot more in common.
Throat. It was very much like I feel comfortable having you talk to me, having you be in my living room, all that stuff.
Had all the conversations that we take for granted that we have with our straight friends that some people had never gotten the opportunity to have those or even witness them. So I think in many ways, without the show having a political agenda, it just kind of ended up being political.
Yeah. And you've had pivotal roles leading to where you are because you played Angel on Broadway and Rent as well.
I was 18 right out of high school for 5 years.
What was your defining moment when you were growing up and you were like, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to do with the rest of my life?
I did so my aunt was really into the arts and stuff, and she sent my cousin and I to a regional theater audition for the show called Runaways. And we lived in a pretty white neighborhood, so it was pretty, we knew with last name Rodroguez we were likely to get cast in a show about runaways. And so it was a pop rock musical, and it had been on Broadway, and so I get cast, my cousin doesn't. So there was the family decided to tell me I also did not get it. Because they didn't think it was fair. So then I called, So then I didn't believe it. I was like, I slayed that audition. There's no way. So I'm 13 now. I call and they're like, yeah, you got it. You're playing Louise. Well, I was like, oh my God. So then that was kind of the first time that I got interested in it. We did it was 3 weekends, worth of shows, and the process I fell in love with. Fine. So then flash forward to I'm doing all the community theater and high school stuff, and then when I get to high school, I 9th grade I just started booking all these leading roles in my high school, and I thought, oh, well, everybody does that. That doesn't mean anything. And then I got accepted into Performing Arts High School, which is the fame school.
Yeah.
Right.
And so did that for junior and senior year, and our teachers, it was the first time I did a number, my first number in musical theater class, and it was the first time I didn't get thunderous applause or have people swooning over me. They were literally okay, we have some notes. Wow, okay. And I was like, what? Because I had always been told how good I was.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'd never gotten notes or I'd never gotten any constructive criticism that I so desperately needed.
Yeah.
So those 2 years were the intensive where I was like, oh, I could do this for a living. And true story, my mom's super religious, and she was like, well, I'm not paying for college if you pursue anything in the arts, because they're that's, for those people. So I wasn't going to go to college, and my high school drama teacher was like, you should just audition for Rent. And I was like, yeah, how am I going to do that? So then a girl in performing arts class, she was on a sitcom, and she was like, I think you should meet with my agency. They would love you. I met with them that morning. They were like, you'd be so good in Rent. Do you know the show? I said, I know every word. And she's like, they're going this afternoon. If I get you an appointment this afternoon, can you go in? Mind you, I'm 18 in an oversized suit because I thought you wear a suit to an agency meeting.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I ran to Dwayne Reed and got some lip gloss for Angel, took my blazer and wrapped it around my waist. And I went in looking so crazy, I'm sure. And I got a call back on the spot. And then it was I had 8 auditions. I was casting director's assistant, casting director, choreographer, the producers, the director, Jonathan Larson's parents, because they were thinking of me to open a new company.
Oh, right.
And so it was this whole thing at 18, from sleeping in the streets to get tickets to suddenly singing Seasons of Love, looking at the seat I sat in 4 months
I love these
prior.
stories.
Yes.
It was such a bizarre thing. And I think that was the defining, when I left the house and started working as an actor, in Rent, and then Rent became sort of a waiter gig. They would let me leave and come back and pursue other projects, which helped build my resume. Queer Eye I took a leave of absence to do Queer Eye. I didn't think I was. I thought I was going to shoot Queer Eye.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
realize.
go right back to Rent.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I took a leave of absence, and then I used my television out in my contract to get out of Rent officially, which was sad because I never got like the goodbye cake or the fans didn't get to yeah. So then when I was doing Queer, I went back for 4 weeks and did like my little farewell time. I did Rent. The 2004 was the last time. Yeah.
Wow. I love that when you said that the constructive years at the Fame sort of the art school where they basically helped you and molded you and shaped you to be able to do that.
Yeah, because they were all working professionals, so they weren't. They didn't need to coddle us.
No.
They didn't need to. I think, of course, it was always hard to get boys in the arts, and so there was a lot more girls than boys in our class, but they were not easy on us the way they were in my normal public school, so it was good. I think those, I'm still close with those teachers. They're all still working in television, film, and Broadway and stuff.
Well, they're very proud that they see you out here doing things.
Do they come see you every once in a while?
They do. They'll come see. Well, now on TV stuff.
Have they seen sex tips?
They have not. I'm a little nervous about that.
Hand
well,
job
I did a sitcom. Well, when we were working together, I'd just come off a sitcom with Reba. We did this show called Malibu Country for a year, and
that's not Malibu Country.
That is not, and that's not Reba.
My Reba never looks so good.
Oh yeah.
That waist is snatched. We went to go see Reba the other day, and
for your birthday, right?
Yeah, and so they
at the Coliseum. You oversaw,
yes, and she was like, "I want to come see your show," and I was like, well, then I got nervous, and then her assistant was like, "No, she's seen Absinthe 3 times." I was like, "Oh, she's fine."
Yeah.
So how'd she like it?
She hasn't seen Sex Tips yet.
Oh, she hasn't.
She's going to see it. I just saw her last week for my birthday. Yeah.
So you parlay that into television again?
Yeah. So after Queer Eye, I thought Queer Eye was going to be like
there you go.
the stepping stone to going back to scripted work.
Right.
And in fact, it wasn't, because when I moved to LA, it was the height of the writers' strike.
Oh, sure.
Which suddenly then they needed to fill that programming with reality TV.
So became very big then.
Yes, one of the many reality stars incapable of actually having any kind of talent or storytelling. And so that became tricky because I was suddenly clumped into a group of people that were table flipping and weave pulling when that wasn't me.
Yeah.
You never did the weave pull?
No.
Bitch.
But yeah,
my party.
Now years later, I've like hundreds of scripted credits and series regular things, but it took I've been 11 years now.
Yeah.
But we can't dismiss the fact that you won an Emmy.
I did. I had an Emmy on my mantle. Yeah. It's nice.
There you go.
It's a nice little party trick, like when you're you bring the boy over, 4th date, he's looking around. Is that an Emmy?
Is that an Emmy?
Oh yeah, that's my Emmy. Do you want to hold it?
You make sure and
perfectly placed it. Like I'd be like, I put it in the bathroom when somebody's snooping
people
around.
Use it for toilet paper holders.
Oh, nice.
Because the wings you can perfectly fit.
Oh my god!
Is that your Emmy in there?
Can you imagine going to someone's house and there's Emmy with toilet paper on it?
People use them as door stoppers in LA.
Hey, let me just put this down for you, and everyone can come in. You have to see
more
it
like
first.
Producers because they win.
Yeah,
because nobody knows. Everyone knows. They have a whole room full of them.
Yeah,
it's like whatever. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I think we were talking the other day. I was like, there was a choice after Queer Eye to get a publicist and try to like really stay in that limelighty space. Yeah. But I felt like what I'd gotten famous for wasn't who I was, and trying to convince the world I was the Puerto Rican Emily Post wasn't working for me. So I almost forgot about Queer Eye and took it off my resume.
Quotable right there.
Yeah, I stopped.
Did you?
Yeah, I took Queer Eye off my resume. I started from scratch in LA with scripted. Ryan Murphy gave me my first scripted job in LA on Nip Tuck. I had a guest star role on that.
Cool.
And that sort of started things off. And then I think probably the defining scripted role was I played a trans woman on the show called Harry's Law opposite Kathy Bates.
Okay.
And it's on my reel. And to this day, people are like, why is there a scene of this girl at the end? Because I look super passable. It was like 15 pounds ago. But I look very like a woman. It's supposed to be a trans woman. So they didn't use makeup. They used liquid latex. And so at the end of the day, I'd peel my face off. And it was cool. But it was the arc of the entire episode was this woman's struggle. And so that was suddenly when people were taking me seriously as, anything aside from the queer thing. I've never maybe this show, I guess. They kind of hired me, because I was the guy from Queer Eye.
Right.
But,
now you're with another Murphy. You're with Matt Murphy.
No, Matt Murphy.
He's writing for the show. And Brandon went and saw it. So,
right.
I know we're limited on time, but I know he talked about that.
Oh, there's Harry's Law.
He's good on there.
Look at you, Jay.
Look at you back there.
She's so pretty. There's a better
those
one.
Legs.
I know. Those are my real. They had a stunt double in the exact for the walk up down the street, and then they were like, "Actually, let's see you walk." And then she was all ready. You know, she got her day pay, and then I walked, and they're like, "We're fine. We're just gonna shoot Jay. You're good. You can go home, Tracy, or whatever her name was." You know.
There you are.
Oh, that looks a little manly, but yeah, she was good. She was pretty
good.
I mean, she could win season 10 of Drag Race.
There's like a selfie in the makeup trailer. That's, I think, the best one. But anyway, No, and I mean, like, that was kind of the time where it was David E. Kelly.
Yes,
he hadn't been on set yet. It was episode number 5, and they literally were like, he's requesting to come in because he wants to make sure that this is told correctly.
Yeah.
There she is. But you can see my tattoos.
That's beautiful.
She's pretty, yeah. But
good makeup.
Here's how they screwed me though. Pretty. We had a walk away lunch, which means they don't feed you. So I was like, oh, that's fine. I'm like, I look super pretty. Like I can go anywhere. I'm not going to be clocked. Then hair comes. She goes, oh no, you can't take your hair with you. And I was like, oh. And then wardrobe goes, you can't take your wardrobe. But now I'm padded, like I've got boobs, like they pushed my real chest up.
No.
So now I've got boobs and hips and waist with like a robe and just bald with full face and nails. And I was like,
walking into Panera, like I need a sandwich.
Literally, so embarrassing.
Oh, bless.
So that led you to Sex Tips.
That definitely led him to Sex Tips.
Well, yeah, no, listen, Sex Tips is a great fun scripted show. It's a fun night out. It's a good date night. You should bring your honey when you guys come back from Paris.
We will.
I mean, when they come back from Paris.
I know, right now.
Well, yeah. When you come back from that Paris and come to our Paris.
We'll go to, exactly.
Yeah.
Very good segue.
Yeah, of course.
Good. But so, he had a tip.
Oh boy!
This was in my car this morning, and I was like, I should take this in because it's still halfway rolled up.
That's right.
And I was saying,
we know what you're doing with that last night.
I was saying one of the chapters in the book that they are describing last night. They have you roll up your. Jay comes to the front of the house, or what's your name in the show?
Dan.
Yeah. And ask everyone to roll up their program.
Right.
And he has everyone demonstrate the proper way to give a handy.
Right, like this fun new kind of play on the just the version we know.
And so he has literally everyone is in the audience has this.
Every age,
from like
male, female.
Yes,
they have their hands on it. They know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he comes out in the audience with his phone, and it's a live feed to 2 cameras over here, and people don't realize that we're on live feed because you're so interested in like getting the right
stroking right here,
the right technique.
I mean, I tip them off. I'm like, this is how Kim Kardashian made it.
She knew how to do that.
So he goes through the house, and everybody's like doing these techniques and maybe doing it on their neighbors because they don't know they're on camera, and then all of a sudden you figure out, oh my god, I'm on camera, and it's hysterical. And you play. I'm not going to give things away because I want people to go see the show, but it's a lot of fun. And you and Kendra and Chris Hodgson is in it now.
Yes,
so
that's who we saw earlier.
He loves to take his clothes off.
Yes,
he sure does. He was out with us. He texted me this morning. He's like, I feel like death. I was like,
if we didn't mention his name this morning, he was gonna like murder me. So
does he want to be on here? New father, Chris. He's very cute.
Yeah,
he's very funny.
But it's so great. But they all did great. But it was so funny. And the one character that you play, and you know the one I'm talking about, had me in stitches. And I've got a really bad guttural laugh, and I have to be careful. We were talking about when I saw 50 Shades the parody.
Yes,
like I laughed so hard that I was hoarse the next day. But you set me off last night. It was so funny.
Gosh. Well, so here's the thing. The show is constantly evolving because 80% of it's scripted, 20+% of it is really me on the fly.
Yeah,
but there are moments where they're really leaning into the Vegasness. The character he's talking about is something that is specific to this version. It's my character's oldest friend in Las Vegas is just how I'll set it up. And in New York, it's played very different. It's played Upper East Side style. And so this character isn't really set yet. And so there's a script for it, but I tend to go a little off the rails with this character, and last night was one of those when I just started rattling off ice creams and stuff.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Well, you have that job like Edie does at Zumanity, and you have like the Gazillionaire and Absinthe, where you have to make people feel comfortable, and then all of a sudden a moment like that where they're jerking each other next to each other. You're like, it's okay. It's all right.
Well, tell us where we can see it.
Yeah, so the show is playing at the Paris, and it's inside the Anthony Cools Theater. And if you want any more information, just go to Sex Tips Vegas.
Dark
on any
Wednesdays.
search engine. Yes, 7 o'clock shows every night of the week except Wednesday. And 7 and 11 p.m. on Saturday. And and we're always around. And then I'm at official J Rodriguez on Instagram,
and you're also at the what was that bar again? You were at last night?
I'm at Quads and Piranha. I had my birthday party last week at Piranha. It was amazing.
You did? Did Larry Edwards host that for you?
He did. It was
Isn't he the best?
Kendra came. We love Larry.
Larry. Well, that is Friday. Get on House Seats. There is 50% off sale right now to join the website. So if you get a chance, go on there. Join us next week. Brandon will be hosting next week as well. We'll be off in Gay Paris. We'll send you pictures from the Moulin Rouge while we're there.
What are you going to do while you're there?
I have no idea. Eat a lot of croissant. Bye.
Bye, y'all.